Hello, Internet! Welcome to Two and a Half Brains. This is our weekly discussion of the latest season of Survivor, the latest episode. It was episode 10 of season 39, and we're talking all about it here. You can tweet me directly at YoGrabbaGabba. You can like the Facebook page, facebook.com/Pavement Productions, and gmail.com is our email. It's paymentreproductions@gmail.com is what I'm trying to say. Can't get it out. You can subscribe as well, so you all the updates, don't miss anything, and so you can follow us all year, all season, and all the updates. Let's go ahead and bring in our co-host here, Jessica, so we can talk about the season and the episode and everything that happened. It was basically all tribal council. I mean, it was 2 tribal councils this week in 1 hour, and they did it a little bit different than they usually do it. So bring her in, we'll talk all about it, and do sure to subscribe, like I said, comment, email us, like our Facebook page, tweet us, share your thoughts, be a part of this discussion, and we look forward to hearing more from you going forward. Let's bring in our co-host, Jessica. Jessica, welcome to the show.
Hello.
You're kind of hanging out there in the background a little bit, but
I'm sitting here.
You're back.
We have a guest with us in case she makes an appearance.
Her name is Lola.
This is Lola. It's half brother of Bailey.
Half sister, Bailey.
Half sister. Wow. Yeah. Neither of us can talk tonight.
Okay. We're both really tired. It's been a really long couple of weeks and a really long week, especially work-wise and other thing else, and both very drained. But we're going to do our best to get through this episode today and hopefully not screw up too much like I already kind of did. But Jessica, how can we find you on Twitter and tell you how great you are?
Just T820.
Okay.
Probably not the second part, but you can find me on Twitter, just T820.
Okay. So the episode was interesting. Let's not waste too much time. Let's just dive right into it here. And I'll start off with this week's 3 moments that matter with moment number 1.
Unmerged. So like you said earlier, they basically split off into 2 tribes again for 2 different tribal councils based off of the immunity challenge that Jeff did.
Yeah, they used to do it like 34 they did it, and I think actually 35 they did it also. Where like right before the finale or whatever, it was a fire sale. We gotta get rid of everybody we can before the finale or whatever, get down to a level.
Without having 2 episodes. So
what they used to do is they used to have like a full tribal council, a full immunity challenge, and then in a half hour, and then another one in the second half hour.
Right.
And I hated that. It was terrible. You couldn't get any strategy. It was just kind of like, let's, whatever. It was probably going to be a pretty easy, straightforward vote, at least for at least one of them. And, just annoying.
So this time they did it parallel.
So they did, yeah, they kind of ran 2 different tribes parallel. Both are going to tribal council. Mm-hmm. And they did that one other time. Do you remember one other time they did it?
Was it Nick's season?
It was the season before.
Or Ben's season?
Ghost Island.
Wendell. Yeah. We did talk about that.
Yeah, so that was the one other time they did it. And so I liked it better. If I'd rather spend 2 hours for 2 tribal councils, it's an hour each. But if you're gonna do it that way, at least do it where it's compelling and it's smaller groups. So you don't have to spend all this time. What do 10 people think about this? And then what do 10 people think about it again?
Yeah.
It's just like smaller groups. It's kind of more of intimate, and then it's more of a I guess a smaller scale. Mm-hmm. And like you said, running parallel as opposed to running 2 huge tribal councils back to back within a half hour.
They did 2 tribals, but it was everybody was parallel. That one group got to discuss who they were getting rid of, and the other group was getting rid of a different person. So one tribe went first, then the second tribe got to see who got knocked out from the first tribe.
Yeah, it might have influenced stuff too, honestly, but
yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah. And
we can talk about that a little more in a minute, but also too, the big difference between this one and Ghost Island one was they all got to stay on the same tribe. So it was kind of like, well,
yeah.
They all at least stay on the same beach, I guess I should say. They were on separate beaches. This one, they're actually on separate beaches. Mm-hmm. Ghost Island, though, they were like, well, who do you want to get rid of? That one or that one? Okay, that's cool. Those 2 are done.
Well, right.
And this one was very much like...
They probably learned that from Ghost Island. Let's see what happens when you separate everybody, and bigger things happen than if everybody was there together.
100%.
Yeah.
It's definitely way better than the Ghost Island one. Mm-hmm. I like it way better than the double. I said the 1 hour double episode is
No, I like that. I liked how they did this.
So definitely, I think it was better thing. And if they're gonna do something like that, I'd be happy with them doing something like this again. They used to do it actually too. Another thing they used to do was back in like the Redemption Island seasons with Redemption Island and South Pacific, where they have, all right, we're gonna do one immunity challenge. They win 1% immunity and an advantage or a twist, and the twist would be now we vote somebody out. Let's vote somebody else out right away. And that would be a way to give us two people from the same alliance. Like, when there was like the gonging where, I remember when it was Rob's season against Russell, or when it was Coach and Ozzy. Ozzy's guy got knocked out, and there's two people left, so they got rid of both of them in one episode. And it kind of made it go quicker, but it was kind of like, there's no strategy this second. It's just whoever's left over from the alliance we picked up already. So this is definitely better, for sure. So I like it a lot more. Anything else?
No.
Tell me about the second moment.
Charisma's idol.
Charisma's idol.
Yeah.
So Charisma found idol.
Yeah, because Nora told her to go do something and not sit around. Had to go look for coconuts. Looking on the ground for coconuts, and you just knew it was going to happen, and she found idol. I'm not saying that, I'm disappointed, obviously.
No, definitely
very
not.
Happy.
And in the way it was played, or in this case not played this week, was great for her.
The whole thing empowered her more to actually try and start playing the game, which is interesting.
Yeah, maybe I think it's a little too late, but maybe not. Who knows?
I don't know. I told you. I think this could be her turning point.
I mean, it's certainly
anything's possible because, as we'll talk about later, things got really blown up.
Certainly, and there's a lot of stuff that's kind of up in the air right now, and we don't really know where it's headed at this point. It's definitely hard to predict who's in a good spot, and who's not.
Right.
Also, I was almost wondering if someone was gonna quit, because talking about Janet was talking about not, I was thinking if I should lose the game, but I decided not to. And then it was a big rainstorm, and people are miserable. Elizabeth was talking about how miserable she was, and Chris was talking about how miserable she was, and everybody. And I was almost wondering if is somebody gonna quit? If there's a miserable rainstorm, people don't quit on sunny days, So maybe somebody's gonna quit. But they didn't. Charisma was basically falling asleep. She fell asleep in the hammock sitting up.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Hey, you want to go do something?" So she went and did something, and they were like happy to have her out of camp for a little bit, and that's fine. She went and found an idol, and then she was actually smart about it too. She found the idol, and what did she say? Remember that when she came back to camp? And they're like, "Why were you gone?"
She said she was feeling sick. She said that a lot, so pretty much played the same card. She wanted to drink someone's water. Well, that whole thing too. They're like, "Well, we're calling medical. Like, it's not your choice." That part was kind of a little annoying. It was a little ridiculous. Like, it's not your choice to get her out of the game. Like, you can't just push her out of the game medical-wise.
Yeah.
She has to elect to go anyways, so it's like, what's the point in calling medical over if she just seems really drowsy?
Yeah, and that's what she was saying, too. She was kind of like...
It's just my body, my choice.
Right. And she was saying, are you guys trying to get me out of the game by calling medical? And they're like, no, we're worried about you. We're concerned about your health.
No.
And
they're not. They're really not. They're just trying to probably find a reason just to end it, I guess.
I mean, she was going to be voted anyways, so whatever.
Right.
But, I mean, it was also... It also kind of worked to call her bluff a little bit, too, because she was like, she was water. She had simple water. She goes, I feel better. Like, really? What's the water make you feel better?
Right.
So it was kind of a little bit of a game within the game a little bit, too, which was interesting. But Krishna found himself an idol, and didn't play this week.
Yeah,
I thought she was going to, for sure, and I thought she was going to have to. And when it came down to the vote, there's 5 people left in the game. I thought she was going to play her idol, negate 4 votes, and vote somebody out herself. And didn't end up going that way, which is better for her.
Probably we talk about that after. Okay.
For sure. We'll talk about them a little bit coming up here, but what is the third moment?
No Islands of the Idols again.
So third time, they had the swap, the merge. They had the swap, the merge, and now this. With no Island of the Idols.
Right. That's the theme of the whole game. So you figured that they would kind of include it at least a little each episode, like something. Not everybody's gone yet either, so the way they're making it seem like not everybody's going to go.
Doesn't hurt everything, no.
Well, yeah, there's not enough time, yeah, but I felt like they do a little bit more with it. I like that they're there. I just wish they do more with it.
Yeah, and Robin and them and Rob and Sandra are kind of, still watching the tribal. We don't even see them until they walk on the tribal sometimes.
Right, but it's kind of like it doesn't matter that they're sitting there watching. I mean, until they get to see another person, a new person. Besides that, it's like they're not influencing anything at the tribal. So, is there something bigger going to happen towards the end of the game, where all of a sudden they're there with Jeff at tribal? Like, is it going to get revealed at some point? I mean, at the very end, obviously, I believe they would show up, for the final vote.
Maybe.
But I don't know. I was expecting a little bit more.
Yeah, me too. And I feel like, Ghost Island, they all went to go Ghost Island at the end and got to see what it was like. There's those 2 big statues that they built. Like, why? For what, 6 people to see it? Like, it's just...
Right.
This Island of the Isles is having very little impact on the actual season itself.
Right.
I mean,
There's a couple of things, but...
A couple people lost their votes, stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah, lost their votes. I mean, idols, that kind of helped, but other people's expired or they were voted out with the idols, so...
Yeah, and their advantages, and some are,
right.
useful, some really aren't anyway, so it's just, it just seems like a way to kind of just have a Survivor season and have a theme, because you can't name it after the place, because the place is already being used for like 7 straight seasons now.
Right.
So, I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, it would be nice if they had, more. If you're gonna have a theme, have it useful.
Yeah, I mean, individual immunity includes islands of the idols, like something, anything. Even like you get to pick one other person, kind of like when they finally do the family gathering and whatnot, or even food rewards. When one person wins and they're allowed to pick like 2 other people.
Yeah, something. I mean,
don't know. It's just that, or just have Rob and Sandra on the show with everybody at some point. Because it's just, why are they just sitting on the island then? Nothing's happening.
Right. I mean, they're getting prepared for, maybe next season. I don't know. I'm just saying, but
I know,
spoiler
but
alert.
still, I don't know.
But what I think they should have done. This is what I think they should have done. They should have showed how the tribes were divided, right? So there's 11 people left. Mm-hmm. Do 2 teams of 5, and the other person go to Island of the Isles. That would have been very easy.
Right, it's kind of like Ghost Island. You go there, you can't get eliminated.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you go there and you can sit in on both tribal councils. That's your advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Something. I mean, there's anything they could have done, and the editing's been very weird. I haven't liked it this season. Obviously, they're saying, they've done it earlier on. I think maybe Jeff talked them out of continuing it, but it was like, look at coming up next on Survivor, and they show a scene from later in the episode. I mean, remember the first episode.
Yeah.
The first episode, they showed who was going to tribal council for the freaking immunity challenge. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what is this?
Well, he even said that, didn't Jeff say something about the commercials and what CBS was showing, and he wasn't happy about it.
Right.
So.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's no reason to do that. I mean, there's no reason to show. Don't leave the show. We're gonna have something cool happen earlier.
They stopped doing that after the second week. So.
Yeah, so it was really bad, and there's not also another thing that's I'm on topic. Another thing that's kind of weird is there's not really clear winners at it. Like, I mean, there's a couple people I feel like have a way better shot than others, mm-hmm. but it's been very mixed up. I said going into it, it's probably gonna be. I said it's probably gonna be either Missy, Elizabeth, or Kelly. Mm-hmm. Kelly got knocked out. Then I was Missy, Elizabeth, or maybe Lauren, and then Missy gets knocked out. So maybe it's Elizabeth or Lauren. I don't know. But now Christian was making a move. Now Janet's still there.
I mean, I guess that's better for the game.
Yeah.
Though. I mean, you don't want to know who the winner is early on. Like,
it's boring.
You want it harder to tell. Every week we never know who's going out.
So
it's better that way.
Right, and then, so what I need then is I'm going to need at some point whether it's after the votes are at the finale, a whole package of like, here's what this person did and why they're a good winner.
Yeah.
Because we haven't had that in a while. Where the reunion shows are kind of useless anyways. But at least if the reunion can recap the winner's game for us in like 2 minutes, show us the highlights of their season, how they won.
Yeah,
that'd be good too.
Depending on who the winner is, because like if Elizabeth were to win, you kind of know why.
Yeah.
She's been playing a good game and a strong player, but I mean, if in some way Charisma pulls it out and wins, I guess I'd understand that. You'd have to try and convince yourself that she was a good winner.
Well, it's just they have to tell enough different stories mm-hmm. to make it a compelling season. Right. But then if you don't tell enough of the winner story, it's such a fine line, right? I mean, Sophie Clark was a genius winner. played a great game, but we didn't hear any of her story because she was on the island with way bigger characters who were way more outspoken and everything like that. So when Sophie wins, we're like, well, what did she do? But it's you don't want to have it be like the season before where we're only talking about one person. That person runs the whole game, wins the game.
I mean, technically, Charisma's been doing what you said all along. Just sleep and don't do anything. She's just doing a little longer than
I would have suggested, yeah. But like I said, I mean that's okay. But you have to know the winner's story has to be told at some point, right? And so you don't want to have the whole show be about that one person,
right? Because
then you know they're winning.
Correct.
But you also or Devon's, but you also have to tell the winner's story.
Yeah.
So, but moving on, let's talk about who did not survive this week. There's two people.
Two big shockers. Number one is Aaron.
Yeah.
Which now I am down to 4. You guys have finally, well, not you guys, but there's finally another person knocked off my team.
Yep.
But I didn't see him winning anyways. He kind of ruffled a lot of feathers, and he was good at challenges. Like I said, when he won back-to-back challenges, the back-to-back episodes, just a big target on your back. Everybody knows you're strong as it is. You can't be Joe Amazing and win everything. Right.
I mean, you said it right. I mean, he had good alliances. He had a few good people who he was with. But even if you have good alliances, the bigger the target grows, unless you're in solid tight with everybody, even if you're in tight with three people, that's not gonna be enough because the target is growing bigger than your alliance. And your alliance can protect you to a point, but when a twist happens, or when there's when you have 2 people in a tribe of 10, the big if your target's big enough that everybody else can see it, your alliance can't protect you. His target's too big.
Right.
And that's really unfortunately what happened for Aaron. I'm afraid to say. I mean, he's got 2.
He was dangerous.
Very dangerous, and they had a shot to take him out, and they said, well. Right. We may not get another shot. He might keep winning immunities.
Yep.
And the problem is, right, people want to have a shot to win immunity themselves. And also, one person keeps winning immunity, you can't. They have a bigger say on who goes home because it can't be them.
Well, right, and if they're always going to win immunity, you don't want them around because then you're never going to get your chance to take them out.
Right.
So the first chance that they could take him out, they didn't have immunity, they did.
Right, and he said it too.
Probably the smart move for everybody. Obviously not for him, not for my team, but for everybody else there.
Yeah, for sure. And he said it too. He says this is the first time I've been here without a necklace, and it's now we're see if the alliances were true, and they
probably were, but his alliance was on the other team.
And he tried to form something with Lauren and all that, and it just his target was just too big, and he was too much of a threat, and at least in challenge wise. And like I said, if someone is winning immunity, that's one person who you can't get rid of. So it doesn't matter what your plan is. If that person's winning immunity, that takes one other person that you can't vote for, and it makes it more likely to be you.
Right.
So,
second.
Yeah, second was even more shocking.
That was on your team.
Yeah.
Missy, who is Aaron's ally, but also allies with my probably most likely winner pick on my team. So it's all kind of blown up now.
Yeah.
They targeted Missy and got rid of her, even though she also was a strong player. Her and Aaron were very tight, and they would have, out of anybody, they were the alliance together.
For sure.
And Elizabeth was brought in, but Aaron and Missy would have run the game together.
Yeah, I feel like it was originally Elizabeth, Elaine,
it was
and
all
Missy,
the girls,
and Krishma,
right?
And then it kind of became Missy and Aaron.
Yeah, and Elizabeth, but mostly Missy and Aaron.
Yeah, and now I'm down to 2. BUX got 2, and you got 4 left. But yeah, it's Missy. I said I felt the best about her chance of winning on my team. Of my players left, I felt like she has the best shot.
Yeah, who's left now?
Nora.
Nope. Interesting, she's not winning.
Whatever.
And Nora's your winner pick also.
I know. But
Sorry.
she's still in the game, so whatever.
She's still in the game.
She's still alive.
Who else?
Elaine.
I like Elaine.
I
I don't know if I see her winning either, but I don't know who I see winning anymore.
Well, yeah,
so.
she's been too visible for too long. I feel like for her to really be a winner. But the first couple episodes, she was all over the screen. Now she's not kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, Missy again. Missy was
strong. She also won individual immunity with Aaron, the second episode last week.
Yep.
So obviously she was a strong player also.
Yeah.
Physically, social game though.
She was strong-willed. That was a big problem. She was
strong-willed, yeah. Her social game wasn't the best, and that kind of started a riff as to the reasoning that was used. Probably not the reasoning that she was gone, but that she was used, that she's just too abrupt with people.
Yeah.
Namely Charisma, but...
Yeah, and she was a threat. She was good in challenges. She was good. She was good and tight with some people in power. It's one of those things where it seems like this season especially, right? You had the Jack, Jill, and Jamal alliance, right?
Right.
Jack and Jill and the King alliance, and that one got broken up pretty quickly. Now this one, you had basically another group of three who was doing good. They are broken up, so it's don't be seen as a pair, be seen as everybody's friend.
Right.
And Missy was, kind of running the show with Aaron, with Elizabeth.
Yeah, I mean, all of her confessionals, too, just made it seem like she was running the show, what's going on, it's her decision, everything like that. And the people that do that are always gone, though. Like, look at, what was his name? The truck driver from...
Oh, Carl. The Godfather.
Exactly. Like, every time he had a confessional, which was rare, it was always like that.
Yeah.
And they took him out. So...
Yeah.
You kind of gotta play a little bit more under the radar. Same with Jamal. Jamal was the same way.
Right, and you do, and Missy was very, very loud, and the thing is, right, you have to have, a resume. I mean, I feel like if Missy and Elizabeth went to the end together, Missy is the one that is overtly calling the shots and playing the game, right. Where Elizabeth's a little more on the radar, so it kind of depends on what you value.
Right,
but
and Elizabeth seems pretty good with most people, but
she does.
Yeah.
But that's my Missy was the one who's taking the credit for the moves, or Elizabeth is kind of her sidekick. So
it's better to do.
It's better to do, especially if you're not the one taking the bullets. So Elizabeth can point to moves that she's made, but if she's sitting there with Missy might be like, yeah, but you were my sidekick, and I'm willing to call the shots. You wouldn't have gotten over for me. So it's
true.
It's tough.
Yeah,
it's a really tough wall to go through, and the thing is now Missy's knocked out of the game because when you are the person who's out front calling the shots, you're also a target. Mm-hmm. So Missy played a good game.
You just have to do it more under the radar.
Exactly. She was a little bit too in your face about it. Mm-hmm. If she would have done that and taken a shot and fallen back,
right.
Or give someone else credit for it, or not been the one out in the opening calling the shots, and maybe the one behind the scenes calling the shots, she may have a better thing. But I just don't think that's her personality.
I mean, Krishma said that she felt like she was being talked to and not talked with. Like, nobody wants someone to come up to them and just start talking at them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, this is what we're doing. Like, I get that, but you gotta go about it just a different way, and maybe it would have worked better. It probably would have gone in a different direction. And
I think Missy's a solid player. I think she's got a lot of good things going for her. I think her only major flaw is just that. Mm-hmm. Is that she's good. She's got a lot. She's good at challenges. She's decently strategic. She's, a good player, but she's just too open about it. I think. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think she's just too loud and too in your face about it instead of just. Letting it happen and letting things go. I think her personality is to is to not. I don't think her personality will allow her to stay on the radar.
Right.
I just don't think and that's you've got to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. You've got to be able to go slide on the radar when you need to. I just don't think she would ever be able to do that. I think it's just her personality wouldn't allow it. Right. And made her a target that you couldn't look away from. Yep. So, that being said, anything else to add, or want to go in the top bottom three?
Go top bottom.
Okay, we'll go to the bottom three. First, and we're going to go over these relatively quickly because we kind of discussed them a little bit already, and it was hard to find the top and bottom three because, if you saw who's going to win, I still have my order I think people have a shot to win. But this week made things more complicated.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to say. So just kind of where they stand right now. Here's kind of where they stand for this week. Doesn't necessarily mean that I think they're going to win or not win or be second or first or whatever.
Right.
But here's kind of what happened this week, I guess. So start with the bottom three. Who's up there?
Fortunately, for the first time ever, Elizabeth is on her bottom three.
Yeah.
She lost two of her closest allies. So now she really needs to make stronger ties with everybody else. I don't think she's ever upset anybody else. I mean, Janet. But she really hasn't gotten on the wrong side of anybody in general. She's always seemed to get along with everybody. You never, knock on wood, have heard her name, thank you, brought up for tribal at all.
Right.
So I'm hoping it can stay that way because I do think she's a really good player.
I do too. I think she's still my top third of winner picks.
Right.
Of people who could win. Top two even. But now the path to get there is much more murky.
Yep.
I still think if you ask me who's going to win, I'd still put my money on her, but it's way more murky because now her top two allies are gone.
Who's going to take her to the end now?
Right, and she have to find a way there.
Right.
And I think she gets there. She has a good shot, but now it's going to be harder to get there. That also being said, though, a lot of times, like I said, one member of alliances often do survive, or two members. If it's a 5-person alliance, one or two members usually survive. In this case, 3-person alliance. Look at the King, Queen, and Jack, right? Jack was out of the merge. Jamal made a couple more votes. And they started breaking that alliance up. Episode 2, right? Molly was second boot.
Right.
So,
because they kind of sat on their throne and had looked at everybody else. I guess.
Right.
That's how they made everyone feel.
Right. Which is true. And also now that a group of 3 people is a threat. One person by themselves, not much of a threat. Yeah. So I kind of feel like maybe that's where Elizabeth gets her. They stop looking at her now because who's next to be a threat? Because now we have there's another pair that we take out that pair. Maybe she can.
That's kind of how everybody is concentrated on this season. Yeah, more so than other seasons.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's what Elizabeth does. Maybe she slips back.
Under the
radar. She kind of has to now. She really doesn't have a choice. She can't run the game now with one person.
I mean, it's not like she's won immunity or anything like that. She hasn't dominated at anything.
Right. She's been average enough at everything, which is good. But so she's not gonna run the game. She can't. So she has to kind of go back on the radar. If she does that for a little bit, gets through a couple more votes, she can reemerge later in in a couple episodes and take control and run it the rest of the way.
I mean, the only thing that would be helpful for her to get really close in with Elaine, and everybody's targeted Elaine once before because she's so social and everything. So I could see that happening. They were in alliance before, or maybe for whatever reason Elizabeth would try and get in good Krishma because she really never offended her. I don't believe it's not been shown that way. So
Elizabeth's been shown in a light where she's not really done anything to.
She's gotten along with most everybody.
She hasn't been shown negative.
Except for the whole, unfortunate incident that happened with everybody.
Right.
That's the only time that anything negative has come out of her play.
And they really said that we really haven't seen any, her look bad in any way. But I was gonna say what you said, Krishna. I said that women's alliance they talked about really since day one. Now is the time. They have twice the number of women that do men.
Right.
And the women, they should stick together at this point and take out Dean and Dan and Tommy, and it's final 6 and 6 women, and they're ready to run the rest of the game.
Right. I mean, though, to be fair, anybody getting eliminated at tribal can come out of nowhere. Because look at the episode with Christian. He barely talked all episode, and then all of a sudden he was gone. Yeah. And that was the worst episode of his ever, and I hated it so much how that went out. So you just really don't know who's gonna get knocked out.
And it's been so random. Like I said, especially last few seasons, but last couple episodes, I would not have if we would have said who's gonna go on the next 3 episodes, next 3 votes. Shorten would have picked at least 2 of those 3 would have picked. At least, I would have said maybe Janet, Krishma, whoever.
Yeah.
But it's been not that way.
Tommy.
Right. So it would yeah, exactly. I would have said Tommy. I would have said it would have said starting from the Jamal vote, who's the next 3, I would have said Janet, Krishma, maybe Jamal, but Tommy, whoever,
Right.
I would have thought the way it went. So you never know. Whoever's in the bottom could be in the top next week, and the top bottom next week. Look at Elizabeth.
It's gonna completely change the game without them going forward. So everything's gonna change again, like it changes every single week. So we get to see what happens the next alliance that comes.
Yeah, it's kind of how I feel like what happened.
Kind of like what was it last season or 2 seasons ago? Whose alliance is it anyways?
Yeah.
Where the alliances are made up and the points don't matter.
Exactly. Everything's made up and the alliances don't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like it was season 34, the last episode before the finale. There was a double boot, and there was an alliance that seemed like they were kind of doing well, and 2 members got knocked out of it, and I was like, what the heck? I thought one of these people were going to win. One of them was winner pick.
Right.
And they got knocked out. I was like, okay, well, now what? I have no clue. No clue how am I going to say who's going to be in the final top 6? How I rank the top 6, I have no idea.
Right.
I kind of feel like it's kind of going that way now. I still, based on edits, I still have an idea, but it's really so up in the air now. Mm-hmm. And Elizabeth had a bad week, and is definitely had the worst week of anybody.
Yeah.
But does that mean she's gone next? Probably not.
I hope not.
I don't think. I mean, yeah. I don't know anything. I'm an idiot, but I would have said Christian was going next week, and I would say Christian was going next week or Janet.
You said it, not me.
Right. I would say Christian was going next week or Janet, and neither one of them went. So
yeah.
Elizabeth makes sense to go next because all our alliance is gone. But I just feel like it's not going to happen.
No. So. I don't think so.
Who's in the bottom 3? Number 2.
Janet's
still in the bottom here. She had a better week. She formed some ties with Dan. She
mended ties with Dan. They, apologized for what happened, and they're just moving on from it. Yep. So now that's better.
And she was, chalk picked to go home this week, right?
Until the whole split happened for Tribal.
Yeah.
That was the easy vote, but she was definitely thankful that Aaron thing was thrown out and not her. So.
Right, and she was the chalk picked to go home, and she survived. So that's better than it could have been for Janet for sure.
Right.
But if you look at again, who's got the most ties to everybody who's run the game, who's calling the shots, definitely not Janet. So she's surviving, which is great.
Damn it, Janet.
Exactly. And if she made it if she makes it a couple more votes, she has done enough where she's not she's not a jury goat by any means. She could definitely win the game.
Right.
But she's not getting there right now on her own accord.
It's true. She's being taken there like a lot of people are just kind of being left alone because they're not at the biggest threat right now.
And they were talking about her as a threat, and she is. So they have to take her out the next couple votes because if she's able to sneak by a couple more votes, she can become very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
But right now she's not getting there on her own.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, it's high Janet.
I'm not because I just don't see as many things that she's done. Like I can't remember a move that she's rallied. She's been involved with stuff, but she hasn't really stuck out of actually doing something. It was the same when we were talking last season with, what was it, Garrett? No, am I thinking of the wrong name? Julie and, it's not Garrett, is it? I don't know why that name just came to my head. He just looks like a Garrett. It was between Chris, Julie, and who?
Oh, Gavin.
Gavin. It did start with a G. Okay, there we go. And we discussed, who out of those were to win that actually played a game.
Yeah. Janet's
a part of the game, but I don't just think she's leading part of the game.
Janet's very interesting to me because, I'm way higher on Janet than you are, and I almost picked her in my team. Yeah. But I had Elaine, so I don't want to do that. But Janet, I think she just got, she did have an amazing social game. Everybody went to her. She was the mom of the tribe, and a lot of times the mom of the tribe is hated because they screw you over, stab you in the back, and you screw over your mother. You're like, what the heck, right? So that's why they don't like. That's why they always get torn apart at the end. The mom character, it's hard to play that character. Mm-hmm. But I think Janet's playing it well. I think she stepped up. She's strong.
I think she's playing that part well, yeah. But which she hasn't done much. She hasn't won. She hasn't really helped. I don't know. For me, I like her. Don't get me wrong. I like Janet, but I just don't think she's done a lot to win it. What?
I'm trying to contain myself. I think I disagree. I think Janet is Here's the thing. She's not been successful in the game. She's not been.
Right.
She isn't. If you say what person did she take out, what person did she make a move and knock out the game?
No one.
No one really. However, the whole Dan thing made it so showed me that if showed me that she could rally the troops if it would have worked, it would have been her stable moment. She has the potential to do it. It's just it didn't work that time. She has the skill. She has the people on her side. They just decided that it wasn't the right time to do it. So I don't. So that obviously time is everything, and one move has to work. But she can. I feel like she can make the move. It just hasn't worked to this point. Doesn't mean it won't work going forward. That's all I'm saying. I think she could make a move, and she has more agency in the game than it appears, but it just hasn't come across yet.
I disagree, but I'm not going to argue with you about it.
So either way,
I disagree with all of that.
Okay, well that's fine. We can tweet who everything is right, comment who everything is right.
I like Janet. I like her a lot. Obviously, I got emotional about her on the last one that we did, it was the last one or two ago. Yeah. I like her. I disagree.
Well, we'll see. I think she's a bigger threat to win than you do.
Mm-hmm.
I think she has the potential to make moves, and I think if that Dan move goes through and she spearheads getting Dan out of the game, has way more agency in the game than she does now, right? I mean, we're looking at her as well. Look at this big move that she made. She spearheaded taking out Dan, but it didn't work.
Right, but I don't think that she has the allies to rally them together to do it another time because
I think
they all turn against her.
Well,
at this point, they wanted to, Missy wanted to, and everything else, but until Missy heard her name, then they went after someone completely different, and nobody brought Janet into it. Though.
She got outmaneuvered, and most of her allies are gone, and that's where we're standing right now.
Right,
and that's what she's about.
Yeah, I don't think that she's got enough allies to rally to get anybody to vote with her. Not
anymore. But if things were a little bit different a couple votes ago, I think Janet's the star of the game. She's running it now.
Right.
I think she got a little outmaneuvered. She was a little bit blinded by her emotion, and she got outplayed for sure.
Yeah.
But if that didn't happen, if they go to tribal, she holds that group together until tribal. I think she's the number one pick on the board because she took out Dan. Now she's running the show.
Right,
but it didn't happen.
So
now she's in the bottom three because she's got very little left to hold on to. So I think I think she's kind of drawing dead, but I'm not willing to write her off yet because I think if somehow she could pull it off again, if she could somehow get the votes on her side and do that, she looks like the figurehead of the alliance. She is that kind of person who's the figurehead of the alliance.
Yeah, but I just think if it comes up again, it's just not going to be seen as her move anyways because everybody wanted to get rid of him to begin with.
Well, I'm not saying Dan. I'm saying if she could pull together the votes. Either way, she's in the bottom three because she doesn't have enough going with her. I mean, Dan and all that, great, but nobody I feel like nobody who's running the game is really working with Janet. I feel like she's kind of on her own, kind of just
trying
floundering.
To pull people in.
Yep. Yeah. So that's all. I think she could. I think she could be okay. She could maybe pull something off. But right now, I think she's kind of on her own. That's all. I think we can agree on that. That she's right now.
She's on her own. Yes, I agree.
On her own, yes. Without not many alliances to go to.
Right.
Last person on bottom three.
Well, your winner picked Nora. Because she's a little nuts still. I mean, she's super nuts. Even though she won immunity, she also freaking. Sorry, should I swear?
It's YouTube.
It's YouTube? Okay. She dropped the damn thing with the ball spinning instead of trying to keep going and win food for her tribe for that episode. Say.
Her group.
Her group, and she blew it, and they were all pissed at her, and Dean just kept going, you could have won us food, you could have won us peanut and jelly,
You could have won us food. Yeah, and you could have won.
Why'd you do that?
And we could have been going to the last tribal
Right.
instead of the first one. And honestly, I'm kind of glad she did because the second tribal was way more interesting. So I'm glad they ended it with that.
Yeah,
I'm sure the producers are happy about it too.
Yeah, but I also think everything got more dependent on maybe seeing who got knocked out.
Oh, certainly.
So who knows what would have happened?
Very true.
They probably would have went the same way it did, but who knows?
It certainly, they were there. If it was easy, oh, they vote out, Janet, easy vote. Then maybe Elaine doesn't, and then don't make that big move because they, monkey see, monkey do, right? Somebody does it first, and they're like, oh, well, they gave us permission to do it because they turn on their own. Maybe that was what gave Elaine the courage to do it. Certainly possible. Going into the second one, so
right.
Nora, the only reason she's in the bottom three, she's doing better. She's involved,
but she's still just not running the game either.
No, and she's too weird to win the game. She's just nobody's gonna give her $1 million because she's
I feel
too
like
weird.
they make her feel like she's kind of running the game, and it's like when you have your toddler helping you, you're just like, oh, you're such a big help. You're such a big help. Good job. That's kind of what they're doing.
Well, yeah, I think you're maybe right because she's they're kind of because if they don't do that to her though, she might go crazy and do something else and blow up their game, right? So it's like
blow up the island.
well, something, right? So to keep her pacified, if you will, you just let her feel like she isn't running the game.
You want to help me bake cookies? You're such a great help. Good job stirring that.
Right. Exactly.
Basically.
And I feel like she is somewhat in on the discussion, but I feel like if the people who are working with her tentatively or whatever, if they don't make her feel like she's involved, she's gonna go to somebody else and blow up their game. So might as well make her feel like she's running the game, and she is in a way. But she's not really in a great spot. I feel like if they wanted to get rid of Nora, they could at any time. It wouldn't be a big deal.
Pretty much. She's not like she doesn't help around camp. She does a lot around camp because she calls everybody else lazy when they don't do anything around camp because she does. So
which is bad too. Bad to do that too.
Yeah, how many people? It's not just Krishma that she said that was being lazy and didn't want to help. She said everybody the one time on her tribe was being lazy because she's getting up at the crack of dawn to get coconuts and keep the fire because it was raining, so God forbid anybody sleeps. That whole thing is kind of like she's too wound up. I hear you because I am too, but yeah.
She just, she's
a lot out there.
She won immunity. She's better than she was a couple weeks ago, but she's still in the bottom three because she's just still just Nora, and there's nothing else you can really do. She's entertaining. She's funny-ish in a way. But she just doesn't have, nobody takes her seriously. And that's
right.
Let's talk about this week's top three. We'll try to get through this here as we wrap up today. Who is in the top three? Who's number 3 in the top 3?
Number 3, who has been on here once before but a while ago, is Krishma.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons. Like we said before, she found an idol. She's also the swing vote for her group when they were at Tribal. It was basically her decision who won that night, and she decided to go with Missy because she was done butting heads with her. They just didn't get along. So I think she still went with the emotional vote, even though she said it had to be strategic. It was strategic, but it was also for her more emotional.
And the reason she's in the top 3 for me, all those things help, but she didn't play right now. She's another week in the game. Mm-hmm. She's not going home. Again, people go home with idols all the time, but if she becomes a target next week, she doesn't, and she finds out that she's tired, she's not going home.
She's got an idol, so at this point, if she hears her name being thrown out there, she'll probably play it.
And it could be a 8-1 vote against her. Her one vote knocks somebody out, and who knows. Mm-hmm. So Karishma is, for me, she's in the top 3 just because she had the nerves of steel. I would probably would have freaking out and played my idol even if I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
And I would have got no votes or whatever and not played my idol.
She held strong. She knew that it was up to her to decide who was going.
And I feel like the reason Wendell Holland won his season is because there was multiple times where he needed to be thrown out there, and he held on to his idol. And and then he needed it at one. He actually really never needed it, but he could have played it and made things worse for himself. Mm-hmm. And holding on to it got him through votes, and I think he won the game because he was cool. He was calm. He didn't blow anything up. Didn't
Right.
create any chaos. He just kind of
Right.
let things go, and I think that helped him. So Krishma took a little bit of a page out of his book in this case and held on to it. That's huge.
Let it go. Let it go.
Please don't. It's Frozen 2 comes out today. Ugh.
I haven't seen the first one.
Great. So, and then obviously the other part of that too is the idols get more powerful the less people are in the game, obviously too. So
Right.
her getting through another vote with still another in her pocket, still good to use, it's helpful for her.
Let's move on to number 2.
Number 2.
Elaine.
Elaine.
She won immunity. She was also the one to start the Missy vote for her tribal council.
Yeah, and Missy and Krishna are butting heads.
Mm-hmm.
And you were saying that Krishna was the swing vote. I almost think Elaine was the swing vote. Because I think Krishna wanted Missy gone.
Yeah, but Krishna didn't start the Missy vote. Elaine did. The only reason they were gunning after Missy was because Elaine pulled her aside right after Missy was trying to talk to Krishna. You remember, Missy pulled Krishna aside and was talking at her, and Krishna got very emotional and left and went back to everybody, at the island, and they were trying to build a fire, they were going to eat whatever they were doing, and she just kept asking Krishna, like, can we please talk? Can I talk to you? She just kept saying no. So then Elaine pulled her aside, and that's when the whole vote started.
Right. And
Besides that, Tommy didn't throw out the vote either.
No, Tommy didn't. I don't know if throwing out the vote makes you not the swing vote though. I mean, I feel like Karishma was mad and Elaine pointed that anger in the right direction. I think Karishma was being emotional and Elaine pointed that emotion at Missy. I think Karishma was gonna vote for somebody, and Elaine said, "Well, might as well throw around Missy." Because she was obviously Krishna was going to vote for somebody, but she was angry. She wanted to decide who to vote for, and Elaine's like, "Well, Missy is kind of being rude to you, isn't she? Well, I'll listen to you. I'll listen to your opinion. What do you think?" And that's smart on Elaine's part to be like, "Let me listen to you, and you tell me who I'll vote for." And so Krishna could have said, Krishna could have joined on with Missy and would have been part of that group, but she decided instead to be, to kind of go after Missy, and I think Elaine empowered her to do that by saying, "I'm gonna listen to what you have to say, and we'll go with what you want to do." Where Missy's like, "We're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this." Elaine's like, "What do you want to do?" And opening her up to it. So again, Karishma had to make a decision which way she wanted to go. So she, in a way, she was in the middle. But also, I think Elaine could have been like, "Cool, Karishma's voting that way. I'm gonna stay with Missy," because I think Elaine's more the one that flipped than Karishma. Karishma didn't have anywhere to flip to. She was in the bottom, so she kind of had to jump on to somebody.
She didn't have anybody, so that's why she was a swing either between Missy or Tommy. Because who talked to Tommy? It wasn't Krishna.
It was Elaine.
It was Elaine talked to Tommy. So Elaine was the one that rallied the votes for Missy.
Agreed.
So I don't see Elaine as a swing vote because Elaine was deciding that it was Missy for her as it is.
Correct.
Krishna had to decide between the two.
Correct. I also, but the way I look at it too, I think it could have been. It's so hard to say because now there's not like back years and years ago there have been 3 votes this way, 3 this way, 1 person in the middle. This way, it's not really 1 person in the middle. It could have been Tommy could have jumped on with Elaine and them. They could have tried to vote, or they could try to vote for Krishna, or Krishna could have jumped on with Missy and voted for Tommy. Mm-hmm. So it was like there's like it wasn't just like a binary choice in this case. I think they could have voted for Krishna, they could have voted for Missy, or they could have voted for Tommy. So whoever decides to go which way is kind of the way the votes are going to go. Tommy got votes, Missy got votes. Krishna, they could have easily both of them got together and vote for Krishna. So I feel like there wasn't really a clear swing in the middle. I think it was just like, hey, Krishna's going to vote. Krishna, and honestly, Krishna may have been a swing vote in that case, and Elaine got her vote by pointing her in the right direction. I think but I don't think Elaine was dependent on Krishna, because if Krishna didn't want to work with her, she could have said, "Alright, screw her," and voted for her either way. So I think Krishna had a swing, but not as much agency as a normal swing. It's so difficult to say. It's such a hard thing to break down.
Yeah, we view this show very differently.
We do, and I love it. That's why it's great.
I don't agree with any of that.
So tell me your take real quick before we wrap up with the last person.
For last person, number one.
Before we do that, tell me why you think Krishna is.
I mean, because if I want to give credit to somebody for the Missy vote, it's Elaine.
I agree.
Elaine's the one. So then I don't understand how she can be the swing vote, because obviously she was going in saying I'm voting Missy. Like, from the edits that we saw, we didn't see anything else. So there was no possibility like, oh, we're gonna vote Krishna, that we saw anyways. So it was binary. It's either she's voting for Missy, or she's voting for Tommy. Like, that's all it was. It was these two are Tommy, and then those two are Missy. Because who's Tommy gonna vote for anyways, unless he has someone to vote with?
Right.
Because he had 0 alliances on that tribe that he
Right.
was on, basically on the group that he was on.
So and I agree with you, and I agree that Elaine is the reason Elaine's higher on the list is number 2 instead of number 3 is because she's gonna put the votes together to take out Missy.
Right.
But I feel like Krishna was upset, and Elaine could have said either, "Hey, it's okay, let's take out Tommy and let's grow it together," or she could have said, "Hey, Missy is being a pain in the ass, get rid of her." And
yeah, well, but Elaine was also making the strategic move for the game in general to get rid of a strong person.
correct.
Even though either of them were strong anyways,
Correct.
but she was using it to get rid of a strong person anyways.
And that's I think we agree on that together. I think
Yeah.
that Karishma was a swing vote, but if she didn't swing the way Elaine wanted her to, Elaine wasn't. Elaine didn't draw the line in the sand until the votes were red. Right? I feel like Elaine could have very easily said, "All right, well, if Karishma's not going to work with me, I don't need her." It could have put the votes together to get Tommy out, or could have put the votes together to get Karishma out. My title. I don't think Elaine was like desperately wanting to get Missy out. I think she was using using Krishna's emotion to target Missy and make the move. I don't think she went to the thing saying we got to get rid of Missy today.
Well, no.
I think she said Elaine said Krishna's emotional. She's mad at Missy. This might be the time to try to take Missy out, and let's use the fact that Krishna's emotional to do that.
Yeah.
And I think if Krishna would calm down and said, "You know what? No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to take out Missy," or Elaine would have said, "Cool, who do I take out?"
Yeah.
And I think Elaine would have let Krishna take out whoever she wanted. And so Krishna was a swing vote. She decided who went home. But I think Elaine gave her that power, and so that doesn't give Krishna as much agency in the game because the only reason she had power is because of Elaine.
Maybe.
In my opinion.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's so complicated.
It's so hard on that one because I don't view it that way.
Okay. So again, this is great. This has been a great episode of the show because a lot of times we're like, yeah, sure, we're gonna think. We're not at all.
Yeah.
We're very on opposite ends, and 2.5 brains. Decide who has what. I guess you can divide it up equally or whatever. But who do you agree with? Me or Jessica, or Jessica or me. It's either way, and we can both be wrong. And we can both be right in the same vein. So it's a great one that it's better when we don't agree because you can get to multiple sides of it, and that's kind of what I do. So appreciate that. I appreciate you disagreeing with me.
Filling your buttons.
No, it's great because if we all agree all the time, it's just like boring.
Yeah.
It's good to have a little disagreement and different sides of the same coin or different perspectives from the other side of the show. So wrap me up here. Not to short shrift the person who had number 1 this week, but number 1 I think it was second week in a row, or at least third time overall though. I think
probably within being on the top, but I think this is the first time she's been number 1 or second, maybe.
Second in a row, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And I think she was one other time before that, so I think this is the third time. She's number 1.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But anyways, it's Lauren.
Lauren.
Who is a number. She has a number. We're all numbered. She's another member of my team.
Yes.
That is a very strong player.
Yes.
And she is the one that rallied together the Aaron vote and ran with it and succeeded.
Yeah, and again, she's one of the ones who, she reminds me a lot of the winner of season 33. The winner of season 33 was always in just about every vote, was never the primary person, and then the primary person would be taken out, and she'd still be there. And I feel like I think that's kind of where Lauren is right now. I feel like Lauren is not like ever the number 1 person who's deciding a vote, I feel there's always one other person who's like with her on that,
Yeah.
and that person takes the bullets, and she's still there,
Right.
and then joins on to another one and makes that move. So I think that's kind of where Lauren is right now. I think she's in a great spot because she's not really nobody's really going after her, but she has enough blood on her hands to make it for a pretty good resume if she gets the end. So I think
I
that's
think so too. Yeah. I do agree with that one.
So we agree on something today. But I think Lauren is. I wouldn't say she's the number one pick on the board to win, but she's certainly in the top 3.
No, but she still has a lot more alliances than who I'm thinking is going to win. So
Agreed.
I think she's got a little bit of a better shot.
You said who's got the best, who's got the better path to get there between, let's say, Elizabeth and Lauren. Lauren has the easier path to get there. I think Elizabeth has a harder path to get there, but has the better chances to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens next week. It's been constantly changing and evolving, and every episode's been, pretty new and pretty different and pretty exciting. So we'll see how things go next week. But I'm ready to wrap up. How about you?
So
Cool. How do people follow you on Twitter?
Just T820.
At YoGrabbyGabba. You can email the show, pavement.productions@gmail.com. Like the Facebook page, facebook.com/pavement productions. You can, of course, send us your thoughts, comments, subscribe so you get all the updates. Don't miss anything. Subscribe. Tell us in the comments who's right. Who do you believe? Which one of us is accurate? Doesn't matter. Probably both wrong. So, and Janet's going to whole game just she's not on anybody's team. So that's the real reason Janet's going. But other than that, I think thank you for everything. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being a part of it. And let us know what you think. Tweet me. Subscribe. Like the Facebook page. Email the show. And keep the conversation going.
Mm-hmm.
Say hi to Lola.
This is Lola. Hi, Lola. She'll be here for a couple weeks.
She'll probably right out the finale with us. Because she really wants to see how the show goes. She's really intrigued.
Right.
Alright. And Bailey's just kind of hanging out being its cool self over there.
Napping tonight. Yeah.
So, other than that, thank you, everybody. And I know one thing. I got nothing else for you right now. Because the tribe has spoken.